Okay, here we go. Boker Tov, everyone. Shavua Tov. We are in Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph, 31a. And we are at the top of the Mishnah. 4 Mishnayot in the Gemara today. The top one, Hanoder.
This one.
Yeah, the top Mishnah, yeah. Right at the top of the page. Here we go. Hanoder Mishovte Shabbat. A person makes a neder, I don't want to benefit from people that keep Shabbat. Asur be'Yisrael. He's asur to benefit from any Jew. Even if the Jew is not Shomer, because that's what Jews do. Let's see, we'll see the Gemara in detail more, but Jews keep Shabbat. So even if, let's say, that particular guy, no, Bnei Israel, ve'asur b'kutim. And asur also with kutim. Kutim were called gerei arayot. They were converts of lions, meaning because of fear. Because of fear, they converted, but they didn't convert properly, or they didn't keep things fully. So they kept Shabbat. We're going to see things that they didn't keep. I wrote some more things over here as well. They kept Shabbat, but we're going to see they didn't go up to Ole Regel on the holidays, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. They had a different mountain that they went to, Har Grizim. So they didn't. So they were kind of quasi in there. Okay, we'll see more about it in the Gemara. So if a person says, "I don't want to benefit from any Shomer Shabbat," it's asur from all of Israel and all the kutim. Me'ochle shum, from those that eat garlic. So asur b'Yisrael ve'asur b'kutim. Asur b'Yisrael and kutim also. So what does it mean? A lot of people eat garlic. So there was a custom back then that people would eat garlic on Friday night. His garlic is marbeh zera, and the husband's supposed to be with his wife Friday night, and that was a minhag to have garlic on Friday night. So therefore, Israel and Kutim would do this minhag, and therefore, if a person says, "I don't want to benefit from people that eat garlic," then that includes it's Israel and Kutim. And the last point in Mishnah. Me'oleh Yerushalayim. I don't want to benefit from anyone that goes up to Yerushalayim. Asur b'Yisrael, mutar b'kutim. Asur to benefit from Yisrael, but mutar for kutim. Kutim wouldn't go up. Okay, let's see.
It's weird that we're having like a division here between the kutim and the Nedarim.
Yeah, so it was a different type of. It was convert, but there was.
Like a different type of Jews.
Yeah, and exactly. And I think regular Israel wouldn't marry them because they weren't fully. So it was a kind of in the middle.
Part of Canaanites that we didn't kill like this because they were scared of being killed. They I think
they faked to make a proper conversion. And then they converted as a group, and then only afterwards they were still observing their old customs. So then it was ruled that they already converted, so they're considered, but so they couldn't kill them or couldn't but it was.
Are kutim down?
It says here
that, what does it say?
The Assyrian king brought them from somewhere else to settle the land. They're not native Canaan.
Not native. Not native Canaan. Okay. Let's see the Gemara. My Shovte Shabbat. What is Shovte Shabbat? Ilema mimekayeme Shabbat. If it's those that uphold the Shabbat, that are Shomer Shabbat. My Yeriba Kutim. Afilu of the Kochavim Nami. Why are you saying that the Kutim is also even non-Jews, meaning like this, non-Jews are not commanded, and actually if a non-Jew keeps Shabbat, it's chayav mitah, they're not supposed to, but meaning technically a non-Jew could keep Shabbat if he does that, if he just doesn't observe, if he keeps Shabbat. So When a person says, I don't want to benefit from any Shomer Shabbat, you could say, well, maybe there's non-Jews out there that are keeping Shabbat and you can't benefit from them as well. Are they supposed to keep Shabbat? No. Are they commanded to keep Shabbat? No. But they might just be doing it. So why is all of the Kochavim allowed? Answers the Gemara. Ela mimitzuvim ala Shabbat. Those that are commanded to keep Shabbat. That's what it means. I'm making a neder from those that are commanded to keep Shabbat. So that's Israel and Kutim, and not of the Kochavim. Says the Gemara. Question: Yachi, if so, Ema Sefer. Look at the latter part of the Mishnah. Me'olei Yerushalayim. Those that go up to Yerushalayim. Asur beYisrael umutar beKutim. It says by that, it says Asur to benefit from Israel. If a guy says, I don't want to benefit from anyone that goes Olei Yerushalayim. Asur to benefit from Israel. Umutar beKutim. And you're allowed to benefit from Kutim. Amai v'hamitzuvim ninu. Why? Why are you allowed to benefit from Kutim? Kutim are also commanded. They're also commanded. They were officially, they're Gerim. So they're also commanded to go up to Yerushalayim. It says the Gemara, Amar Abaye. Here the Bach says, Ela Amar Abaye. And Ela, we always said, comes to erase what we said prior and now start a new point. And the reason for that is because what we're going to say now is that because the first answer was Ela mimitzuvim al Shabbat, that rather it was about those that are commanded to keep Shabbat. And here the new Ela is going to be, it's not just those that are commanded, it's that are commanded and actually do it. That's what Abaye says. Ela Amar Abaye, or Amar Abaye, mitzuveh ve'osektani. The Mishnah is talking about that commanded and actually fulfills. Betarti bavi kamaita. In the first two cases in the Mishnah, Israel ve'kutin mitzuvin ve'osin. Jews and kutim, they're commanded and they do it. Or the kochavim, hahu de'avdi osin ve'enam mitzuvim. Goyim, some might do it, but they're not commanded. So the first case was about Shabbat. The second case was about the garlic. So Abaye is saying to qualify, you need to be commanded and do it. So Jews and Kutim, when it comes to Shabbat, are commanded and they do it. That's why Asur Kutim. When it comes to Ochle Shum, it's interesting how that works with commanded to eat Shum.
I think Israel enacted that.
Enacted that, like the minhag.
Yeah.
What does it say over there? This implies that the Kudim adhered to Ezra's enactment to eat garlic on Shabbat Eve. Although in general they were only careful in the observance of biblical laws, then it took this enactment, apparently finding it to their liking. Then it took this enactment, apparently finding it to their liking. So it seems it was, I guess it's some sort of commandment.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
also-
interesting.
Is there anybody observing this rule?
Today?
Like garlic? I mean, I love garlic, but like people love garlic, so they eat. But like for this
For this purpose, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. There's no Shulchan Aruch sign on it, as you see in the Mishnah. There's an Aleph there by there, and there's a bet by Olei Yerushalayim, but there's nothing with regards to the Ochle Shum. So there's no Boker Tov Yehuda or Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph about to start the second Mishnah. Yes, I don't see any halachic point on it, and could be people do that on their own. They learn advice from the Gemara and they do it, but not a commandment. Yeah. Okay. So says the Gemara that the first two cases are cases of command, and they're doing it. Be'olei Yerushalayim, when it comes to going up to Yerushalayim, Yisrael mitzuvin ve'osin, Kutim mitzuvin ve'enan osim. Israel are commanded and they do it. Kutim are commanded but they don't do it. And therefore, by the first case, let's say Shabbat, Oved Kochavim could maybe do it, but he's not commanded to, and therefore, Oved Kochavim is outside of the neder, and you can benefit from him. And when it comes to Orla Yerushalayim, even though the Kutim are commanded, they just don't do it, and therefore, they're also outside of the neder. The person says, I don't want to benefit from Orla Yerushalayim, it's only referring to Israel. And when a person says, I don't want to benefit from Shomer Shabbat, it's someone that keeps Shabbat, that's commanded to keep Shabbat, and actually keep Shabbat. And meaning, and that group is keep Shabbat. Now, on a specific person, I think they're also included in all of Israel. I think there's a concept, Israel keep Shabbat, Kutim keep Shabbat. If a particular guy doesn't, I don't think he's outside of the neder, and he's also can't benefit from it. Okay, Mishnah number 2. Konam she'eni nehene livnei Noach. A person says, I don't want to benefit from bnei Noach. Mutar b'Yisrael ve'asur b'avodei kochavim. You're allowed to benefit from bnei Israel, and asur to benefit from goyim. Obviously,
translation is idolaters, but why goyim is idolaters?
Avodei kochavim.
No, in the English translation.
Yeah, Avodei kochavim means those that
okay. Yeah.
serve stars.
Okay, so
Yeah.
obvious question is.
So the obvious question is, we're also bnei Noach. We also come from Noach. Right? That's the Gemara's question.
Another one. Also the idolaters. Why he's not benefiting from Bnei Noach, but he can benefit from Bnei Noach, but not from the idolaters. He just said, I don't want to benefit from Bnei Noach, and now he cannot benefit pagans.
It's a reference to all goyim. Israel versus goyim. Avodei kochavim are a reference to goyim. It's not. Let's say there's a goy that is an atheist goy. Right? They're included in Avodei kochavim.
I have a surba umot, so that includes everybody.
In your Gemara?
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine
mine
says
as well.
surba umot.
In the
All
Surah
nations.
Umot haolam, that's what it says for me.
in the actual Gemara?
Yeah.
Vaso b'umot haolam.
And the translation is from the nation of the world.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Avodei
Yeah,
kochavim.
b'umot
also.
haolam.
Yours in the Mishnah says
Umot,
Umot haolam?
No, just umot.
Wow, they have different versions.
So actually here there's a little asterisk.
No, but every time you say of the kochavim, I always never have of the kochavim in this gemara. It doesn't say.
Maybe it's
Really?
Every time you mention
What's
that.
the let me see the front of the Gemara. It's so interesting because we have the same one. Read it back. The same one.
wow. I think maybe
It's Ozadar.
maybe the specific one that they want to change. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
here I have an asterisk. I have an asterisk that says Umot Haolam. Ketov.
Supposed to be late.
Someone was up late this morning.
Man, I'm waiting for that. I left,
You know
I left my ringer on purpose just to hear you say, okay, I'll give you 10 minutes late.
I said, you said I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be on time. That's the Moroccan. If you don't say anything, I come late. If you say anything, oh yeah.
If it wasn't for CC, I'd still be sleeping.
Okay, so we're on 31a, and we'll just review this. We're at the second Mishnah. Okay, Konam she'eni nehene livnei Noach. A person says, I don't want to benefit from bnei Noach. Mutar b'Yisrael ve'asur be'avodei kochavim. He's allowed to benefit from Jews, and asur to benefit from goyim. Or olam. Asur to benefit from goyim. And the obvious question is, aren't we also children of Noach? Says, ask the Gemara, v'Yisrael mi nafik michlal b'nei Noach. And b'nei Israel, are we outside of b'nei Noach? We're also from b'nei Noach. We're also from Noach. Answers the Gemara, kevan de'ikdash Avraham itkaru al shemeh. At the moment that Avraham became kadosh, we were called based on Avraham.
Okay, so what about
So-
Esau and Ishmael?
So
Or
the
Bnei
Gemara
Avraham?
is going to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, it's coming. Good question. So since we come out of Avraham, since Avraham became kadosh, we are called by Abraham, and therefore Bnei Noach is referring to Goyim, and there's Noahide laws, and then Bnei Noach, Noahides, right? Oh, we're also for Bnei Noach. No, and that's why they say Ben Adam. Ben Adam is a person. Everyone comes from Adam, the son of Adam. Bnei Adam. Adam is.
I just realized that right now.
As we're talking about
Ben Adam. When you say, you're Ben Adam, I never realized it was Ben Adam.
yeah.
It just hit me
Just-
right now.
Yeah.
I never connected the two words.
Right. No, so Ben Adam is it's a human. Everyone comes from Adam. But are we? Yeah, we're also from Adam, but we're not. We don't call ourselves Ben Adam. We call so here Ben Abraham. We're from Abraham. Okay, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Right, but not Bnei Noach. Bnei Noach is referring to Goyim. Because since Abraham became Kadosh, we're called on his name. Next Mishnah. She'eni nehene lezera Abraham. So the next Mishnah says, okay, so what if a person says, I don't want to benefit from Zera Abraham? Asur be'Yisrael. Umutar be'ovdei kochavim. You're allowed to asur to benefit from Yisrael only, but you're mutar from the other nations. But Abraham also had other nations. Abraham had other kids afterwards, and he had Esav, and after through his, so he had Ishmael, and then afterwards came Esav. But you say Zera Abraham, it's asur be'Yisrael and mutar be'ovdei kochavim. That's what the Gemara asks. Gemara asks, "Ha'ika Yishmael." There's Ishmael also, so that's also been Abraham. Answers the Gemara, "Ki beYitzchak ikara dechazara." Ktiv. The pasuk says that through Yitzchak, that's going to be it's going to be called your zera. It's going to be called your next, your connection, your next, your lineage is through Yitzchak, your child Yitzchak, not Ishmael. And the Gemara says, okay, fine. So that excludes Yishmael. Ve'ayika Esav. 1 second. Yitzchak had 2 kids, Yaakov and Esav. So we come from Yaakov. What about Esav? So can you benefit from Ben Esav? There's also Esav. Says the Gemara, Be-Yitzchak velo kol Yitzchak. Be-Yitzchak and not all of Yitzchak. Be-Yitzchak, from Yitzchak, you were called, when Hashem tells Abraham, from Yitzchak will be called your Zera. Not all of Yitzchak. All of Yitzchak is Yaakov and Esav. From Yitzchak is Yaakov. And therefore, when a person says me Zera Abraham, it's referring to Zera Abraham. And who's Zera Abraham? Ki beYitzchak ikarat chazara, excluding Ishmael. And how about Esav? No, beYitzchak, from Yitzchak, which is just Bnei Israel. So when a person says Zera Abraham is referring to just Israel and not of the Kochavim. Okay. And now we get to the difficult Mishnah. So let's see how the Mishnah is good, and let's see how we'll have to maybe need some help from the Gemara. Here we go. Mishnah. She'eni nehene miYisrael. If a person says, I don't want to benefit from Bnei Israel. So how can you do business? Can you still do business and uphold the neder? And the Mishnah says yes. Loker beyoter umocher bepachot. Buy for more expensive and sell for cheap, so that you don't benefit from Israel. I mean, when a guy goes to the store and he buys something, he thinks it's a good deal. That's why he's buying. He thinks it's a normal price. So I'm benefiting from this purchase. Yes, I need this suit, but I'm benefiting. I'm at the end of the day, I find it's a fair price. I'm benefiting as well. So I'm benefiting from Israel. So how can I not benefit from Israel? Is I'm going to buy the suit expensive. So now it's like I'm not benefiting from this. I just gave more money for this suit than it's the value. So I'm not really benefiting. I lost. Or if I'm selling, I sell for a loss. From the guy selling the suits, then I sell for a loss, so that I'm not benefiting from this Israel that bought off of me.
You're losing.
I'm losing.
But how many suits can you sell at a loss? If all Bnei Israel comes for a suit,
Yeah, no. So that's why
you won't be selling suits for a loss.
Well, exactly. But if this guy wants to uphold his neder, there is still a way to do it, which is buying for expensive and selling at a loss, and therefore I'm not benefiting from Israel. He says not benefiting from me.
It's small another problem. Like if you want to, if you said this, Konam, and you go to an Israeli suit tailor, whatever, and say, what's the price of this? 100 shekels. Oh, I'm gonna pay you 110 because I don't want to benefit from you because you are Israel and I made it. So you are insulting Israel, which is also forbidden. You cannot do that.
You just added a story. I mean, the guy says, "I don't feel insulted. Thank you for giving me more money." You just made up a story, right? We don't have to- yeah.
Pay me more, thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very
Yeah.
Jewish
Insult me all
Come
day.
on.
Insult me all day. Just give me-
Thank you
You
very
want,
much.
if you want to insult me again, Baruch haba.
You can actually insult me more at 20% more.
Exactly. So yeah. So okay. So case number one is you don't want to benefit from Israel. You buy things for more expensive and sell things for cheaper. So you personally are not benefiting from Israel. Next case, Sheisra nehenin li. I don't want Israel to benefit from me. First case, I don't want to benefit from Israel. I don't want to benefit from Israel, so that means I have to buy things for more expensive because I can't benefit from Israel, and I have to sell things for cheap because I can't benefit from Israel. But I don't want Israel. I'm making a thing. I don't want Israel to benefit from me. So what happens in that case? He has to lokech bepachot umocher beyoter. He has to buy for cheap and sell for more.
Good luck.
Good luck. That's why the Mishnah says, "En shomin," like im shomin. There's other like if you listen to him, like if someone is stupid enough to do this, then that could work out. But the things like this. If a guy says, "I don't want Yisrael to benefit from me," so I don't want them to benefit from me. So that how could we make it that they don't benefit? Then I have to buy for cheap from them, because now they're not benefiting. They're selling their products for cheaper, or I have to sell them for expensive. Usually it's $500 a suit. Usually you have to pay $1,000.
So you just reversed it.
Exactly, just reversed it, right? So that you don't benefit from me, and then because I made an oath, Israel doesn't benefit from me. Now, no one in the right mind is going to do that. Just go to the next vendor who's going to sell it, whatever. Like the Mishnah says, "Ve'en shomin lo,"
But if
like
you
you
made a neder-
don't have to listen to it. Yeah, but I made the neder. I'm the store owner, so I made a neder. And it says, whoever's Israel, they have to pay $1,000 for the suit. Non-Jews,
Go ahead,
pay
250.
$500.
Everybody can
There's
remember.
250. No, everybody to be a non-Jew. So the Jews wearing the Hindu thing. I'm not Jewish. Yeah. So, but that's what the Mishnah says. And I mean, like you don't have to listen to the guy, But that's a way to uphold this guy's neder, is in that way where he sells for more and he buys for cheap. She'eni nehene lahen vehen li, yehene lo dekochavim. Last case in the Mishnah, if a person says, "I don't want to benefit from Israel, and I don't want them to benefit from me," then he could only benefit from goyim.
So you can't sell.
He can't sell or buy from, because then someone's gaining. If you made two-way neder,
It doesn't go together, so it has to be eliminate all of them.
eliminate all of them. Yeah. So if you made the two-way neder, then only goyim he could do business with. Okay. Says the Gemara. Amar Shmuel. Shmuel says a case. Halokech kli min ha'uman. If a person takes a vessel from the uman, from the
Breslov.
what?
Breslov.
Breslov. Uman. Yeah, uman. Yeah. He takes a kli from the uman is like the professional, the guy that made it. So you take a vessel from uman levakero, to check it out. Meaning you go to a store and you say, "Hey, I want to try on the suit. Let me try this out. Let me try the car. Let me go for a ride in the car before I buy it." And then an accident happened. Boom, the car smashed, or the suit ripped. Whatever it was, you tried it. You didn't buy it yet. Chayav, you're obligated to pay.
No, there's a saying for that. Shabbat Shilam.
Shavarta shirata. You broke it, you pay. You broke it, you pay. So, a guy came to check out something in a store. He wanted to check out. He didn't buy it yet. He has to pay. And why is this? It's just if you remember, Parashat Mishpatim talks about the four types of watchmen, I guess. So the first is the person that watches something for free. Like you go out of town and you tell your friend, "Hey, can you watch my house? I'm not paying you, but do me a favor, watch the house." If something happens, Shomer Chinam, yeah. If something happens, then the guy's not so responsible because you didn't pay me for this. You didn't, So there's certain things he is responsible. Negligence. Like I left the door open, and now robbers came in. Hey, you left the door open, right? But if someone came and stole and robbed without the door open in a normal, hey, I'm I'm your friend. I didn't say I'm gonna set up a whole security system over here. But then there's the next level, shomer sachar, that you're getting paid to watch my house now. And something happened. Hey, it's on you. I paid you for something. So that's more responsibility. And then there is a shoel and socher. Socher is a renter. So a renter, both are getting benefit. The guy that rents is benefiting from this item, and also the guy that rented, he's getting money. But the worst is a shoel, the guy that borrowed, because and also like a shomer sachar, all of the guy that borrows, I get all the benefit. I'm the borrower. The lender gets no benefit. His items. Mitzvah. Yeah. So besides for the mitzvah part, here we're in practical law in this angle. But yeah, so there's no benefit in a certain way. So therefore, all the responsibility is on the borrower. You borrowed it, then you bring it back to me. So here, when the guy's in the store and he's trying on a suit or he's taking a ride in the car before he buys it, it's like he's borrowing it, and if it breaks or whatever it is, he's obligated to pay. Alma kasavar. So therefore, it must be that the meaning of Shmuel's law is hana'at lokeachi. It's the benefit of the one that's taking it. And the one that's taking, that's where the benefit is. The guy that's using this item to try on whatever, the taker, he's benefiting over here. Now, the Gemara asks a question on Shmuel from our Mishnah. Tanan. It says in the Mishnah, She'eni ne'ene Yisrael. If a person says, I don't want to benefit from Yisrael. So, mocher bepachot. So it says mocher bepachot. So he sells for cheap. He says, I don't want to benefit from Yisrael. So if I don't want to benefit from Yisrael, I have to sell my items for cheap. So I'm not benefiting from it, I'm losing. So the hana'ah, the benefit, the benefit, the hana'ah is for the hana'ah, meaning even though. Okay, so let's continue singing. So, Tanan, she'eni nehenem Yisrael mocher bepachot, aval shaveh b'shaveh. But if you sell it for equal value, lo, that's not gonna work out. Meaning the Mishnah says the way for it to work out that you could still do this transaction is selling it for cheap, selling it for equal value, not selling it for you making a profit. Let's say selling it for equal, what you bought it for. No. But if in concept, whenever a person buys something or the benefit is on the one that takes, even when it's equal, it should be, the benefit should go to the lokeach. So like this, when the guy is selling for cheap, the benefit is, the benefit is going on the buyer. He just bought for cheap. Now, because I said I don't want to benefit from Yisrael, so he got the benefit. I sold my stuff for cheap. That's fine. But what if I sell it for equal? If I sell it for equal, so that the Mishnah says no, you can't do that. You have to sell it for cheap.
Except.
So that means if you sell it for equal, then I'm still benefiting. The seller's still benefiting. I guess you made your money back. Right? You're selling it for equal. So the Gemara is asking, if the hana'ah is on the buyer, then even in a case of shaveh b'shaveh,
It's fine, right?
it should work out.
But
why is that so though? Because why would you say that that's gonna shaveh b'shaveh? One second. That's what I told
So
you.
the seller does not benefit from the sale.
I mean, the seller should be benefiting because he's getting rid of the perk
Eh,
he's trying to sell.
Right, and he's getting his money back.
Yeah. He's trying to give
I don't know what example can we give that it's
Earlier-
like equal and it's fine, it's on the benefits of the buyer, when it's equal. What example, what product?
Right, the buyer gets it, and he has use of it, and the seller doesn't lose any money.
He
Right?
doesn't want it anymore.
He
Benefit
doesn't
of
want
both.
For a reason.
He's
It's equal.
but he's selling it equal, so he's not losing, and the buyer's benefiting.
But what? Why is he benefiting from it, and in another case
The
he's
u-
not?
the use of it.
Give me an example for a product.
Right. So you buy a bicycle. The guy sells it to you for $100. It costs him $100. You get the benefit of using the bicycle, and he breaks even. Doesn't lose. He doesn't make.
It's also he's decluttering.
What is the
Don't
English,
don't tell your wife that.
what is the English term for a sale that lies in his face? What does it mean?
That's the answer.
What does it mean?
Now you ruined it.
Low demand.
Wait,
Low
now you
demand.
ruined
We
it.
just read it.
No, we
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
read
we
it
haven't
yet.
read it yet. Yeah.
So here the Konam that I not
It's like
benefit
watching a
from
movie.
these,
You know the
yeah.
punchline at the end.
Spoiler.
Yeah, so the guy says, we're looking at a Mishnah, one who says that I'm not going to benefit from Yisrael, sells it for less than its value. At its value, however, he is not permitted to sell. At the exact value, he's not permitted to sell.
Why?
Maybe in
But
the-
if a sale is
that's where we
totally
make
to the
the
benefit of the
profit.
buyer, if a sale in
sale
concept is
totally-
totally benefit of the buyer,
Yeah.
a vower should be permitted to sell even at its value.
Right. That's how he's not benefiting.
Why is this? Since Shmuel claims that the seller does not benefit from the sale, the vower should be able to sell merchandise either at the current market price without being in violation of his neder, not to benefit from the Jews.
So a standard margin, like a cost of living or whatever, should be included in the price. That's not a violation.
Well, I don't know, Shavu B'Shav, whatever equal to equal is.
But I'm saying no.
If
But
it's
it's
what he
saying,
bought
but
it
it's
for,
said here at the market value. So therefore, if the market value, if everyone is selling at $10,
Okay, yeah,
you sell
market
$10.
value.
That's the market value. You're not gouging, but that's that's a fair price. So for his expenses, for his livelihood, that's included in that margin of profit. So therefore, he's really not benefiting. He's just paying his life normally at the market value.
But isn't that a benefit?
You know
Benefit
what?
is profit. I don't know about you, but after I take my salary, after I pay my expenses, my employees, and everything, at the end of the year, that's really my profit. Because
No.
yes,
No, I agree with you on
Yes.
that. That's profit.
so maybe that's
But-
that's fair. That's fair market price. Fair market price. I've included my employees. I've included my depreciation. I've included my food for my family. And at the end of the year, after I've done that at a fair market price, that should be my profit. That's what I'm taxed on.
But I'm not sure if the benefit is meant the same thing here. Otherwise, I agree with you.
You know what I think? I think it's
No, I
not
think,
about the product, it's about
I
how you.
understand this.
Let's
You
say
know,
you're
it's
looking
always
for
like,
something to
uh,
buy, but you
yeah,
weren't
consumer
planning on
say,
buying it. And then some
But
seller
some
came to you and like,
with respect
here,
to
buy it,
the
buy it, buy it.
actual
I'll
thing.
give it to you for 10 shekels, which is the equal for him, right?
The seller is
For example.
benefiting,
Then,
so it should be the
it's
same
not gonna be
thing.
for his
Yes,
benefit, 'cause he
also
wasn't
the
planning on
seller
having
should
it.
be,
Right.
maybe that's how I
So
understand
why?
it.
Yeah. So why is this in the first
You're
case
just
when
making
he's
your
when he's checking out
livelihood
of
is
that
also a
suit
benefit.
or that car? Why is he saying that the buyer's benefiting? Well, I don't get that.
The buyer, because the other one is obligated to pay because he damaged it. Eventually, he's gonna be end up selling it because he breaks it or buys it.
So that's the buyer.
The seller benefits.
No, the Alan Lokeach, the buyer benefits. It's Hana'at Lokeach. The buyer.
Here, you know what
The
it says?
seller does not.
So this
No,
we
but
have
I'm
an
gonna say-
explanation on this. It says an item that aroused no interest among potential buyers. In that case, the seller benefits from the sale, even if the item is sold at market value, and this is.
Yeah, that's going to be the answer. Let's take a look at the answer and see what we work backwards from there. So the Mishnah talking about matniti bizvina derami alape. A Mishnah is dealing with merchandise that is a low demand. So if it's a low demand, let's see, literally merchandise that lies in the seller's face. Meaning low demand. The sale, because it's in his face the whole time, he can't sell it. The sale of such an item at its fair market value is a benefit to the seller because he has difficulty finding customers for it. Conversely, buyers do not benefit from such a purchase for similar items are readily available elsewhere. Shmuel, by contrast, discusses a fast-selling item. Owing to the high demand for the article, the buyer benefits from his acquisition, for he cannot be sure that he will be able to purchase such an item elsewhere. The seller, on the other hand, does not benefit, because if he does not sell the item to this customer, he can always sell it to the next.
So it's how much in demand.
Exactly, the item is.
Isn't it the gray area though?
For this kind of the principle that elsewhere is not considered. Okay. Okay, so from Shmuel we learn that if a person takes a kli from an uman, from a worker, a suit to try on, and he ruins it, he has to pay. So he learns from that the benefit is on the buyer. I guess in just like in the case of borrowing, an onus happened. That's what's going on over here. Because it's an onus is an accident. Now, an onus, certain times it's an accident. The borrower could say, "Hey, it was an accident," but because, like the guy drove out, and in this example, he didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. Maybe I shouldn't have to pay. No, but you benefited from it. All the benefit was on you, and therefore you have to pay, just like just the rule of borrower. And therefore, so Shmuel, because this guy has to pay even though he's trying on the suit and then accidentally ruins it, he has to pay. So the benefit is on the buyer. So if that's the case, benefit is on the buyer always in the case of purchase. So if a guy says, I don't want to benefit from Israel, so he has to sell for cheap. So he sells for cheap, therefore the Israel gains. And he's not benefiting from Israel. This guy that made the promise. But equal, he says you can't do equal. So asks the Gemara that if the benefit if benefit in a purchase goes to the buyer, then even in an equal case, he should even be allowed to sell it. Even in equal case, because at the end of the day, in this case, we don't want that the seller made a neder. I don't want to benefit from Israel. I have to sell my stuff for cheap. What about if you sell it for equal? Then it's still that guy benefits. That's what we want to ask, because in the case of, let's say, this item that you're borrowed, and it got ruined, you have to pay back. I guess it's a case of equal also, where you're just paying back what you ruined. You have to pay back fully. So in a case of shaveh b'shaveh, it should be that it's also benefit of the buyer. But we didn't say that. The Mishnah says you have to sell it for cheap. You can't sell it for equal. So from Shmuel's law, we see benefit from the buyer. From the Mishnah, we see that and shaveh b'shaveh. Shaveh b'shaveh is not going to be. If we're talking about the hana of the lokeach, the buyer, even shaveh b'shaveh. So the Gemara answers, the Mishnah is talking about things that have low demand. So things that have low demand, the benefit is for the seller. So that's why the seller has to sell it for cheap, so that he doesn't benefit from the Jew. So that's why but because if it's high demand stuff and he sells it for equal, then if it's high demand stuff and he sells it for equal,
Then it's not good.
then the buyer benefits.
It's not the buyer, it's the seller benefits. Because
Yeah,
it's in
we
demand,
want-
right?
If it's in demand, he's
Yeah.
Oh, maybe if it's
So
in
low
demand.
demand.
low demand.
So low demand. So our Mishnah is talking about low demand.
Low demand is not good.
So
Low
low
demand,
demand.
nobody wants the product.
Nobody wants the product. So
you're doing him a favor.
So
if you take
he
it off.
benefits, the seller benefits when you take it off of
Because you're
him.
taking off, it's not, you're not selling, even at my cost, just get rid of it. Give me back my money. You know, every time I used to say, okay, just dump it.
Yeah.
Give me back my money so I can do it again. I made a mistake. I bought this. It wasn't
Even at
selling.
loss.
You
Even
know,
at loss.
you know, so if he's breaking even on it,
But
he's
wait-
benefiting.
But then what's the case? Because we don't want the seller to benefit.
It depends how you look at it. If you talk to a seller, he's crying, I made no money, this, that. It's Jewish syndrome.
The seller always has
Even
to
if he
sell
made
it
money
for
on it,
lower.
he's still going to cry to you.
You always have to sell it for lower, so there's no chance for benefit for the seller.
But then Israel will benefit from him because he doesn't want Israel to benefit from him too. He cannot sell for cheaper because of the other part of the wall.
So he says if it's a low demand item, then if you sell it at equal,
Then no.
the benefit is going to go to the seller.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a low demand item, he can't find buyers for it. But so if you sell it for equal, the benefit is on the seller.
Mhm.
That's why if you sell it for less, then on a low demand item, you sell it for less,
It's okay.
it's a benefit for the buyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you sell it for less. It's a good sale. It's benefiting the buyer.
It's benefiting the buyer. You got it on sale,
Even if it's
even if it's a low demand
But
item.
it didn't say that the seller didn't make money. If he sold it for less, right? Example, he retails $10 and he sold it for $7. It didn't mean to lose money. Everybody's happy because
But
the
that's
buyer
okay.
got a discount
You can
and
have
the
a
seller got
sale,
rid of it.
Yeah, you can have a sale and still
Yeah,
derive money.
yeah, 100%.
for sure.
You sell milk for $2, but then you come in and you buy salami. I mean, not together, but you buy you buy like different stuff. And you have a lost leader.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know if marketing was so into the Gemara,
Marketing.
but I never lost leader if it was in the Gemara, but I'm sure it was.
What's lost leader? It's a
Yeah, you sell
concept.
this for $2, a milk. That's why they sell milk for like $3. You sell, but I come in, but I need to buy chicken. I need to buy. So I bought you in with the milk because it was a discount, cheaper than everybody. So I maybe I lost $1, but then you came in and you bought. Like you go to Costco to buy a chicken, you come over to the swimming pool, right? They sell things
What's
cheap.
that concept called?
Loss leader.
Leader, like
Lost leader. Yeah, I'm leading you with a
a
loss.
lost leader, a lost leader. Okay, you know what? There's a couple minutes till Shachrit. Let's pause here. B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow night we'll start again from the Mishnah and we'll get it strong.
It's like Magen David. We offer
Exactly.
kiddush. Hopefully they go to the Torah. They donate something. It doesn't work.
Lost leader.